Peace to the gods, peace to the gods. Yusef L here. All right, going live again. Today, got some things I want to talk about today. Had a comment. Sometimes, individuals, they help me with my content. Sometimes I sit back and wonder, okay, what am I going to talk about today? And it never fails that someone will help me answer that question. And today, we have an individual who commented under one of my videos. I believe it was the last video that I did. And what was this thing? It was, let me just read this to y'all, man. Read this to you. Okay, read this. All right, let's read this. All right. This is today's victim. This is a smart guy. Well, he's not too smart because he's over here fucking with me. But he wants some attention, so I'm going to give you attention today. Let's read this comment. He's always commenting on my channel as if he understands what's going on. He doesn't fucking understand. He doesn't understand right to travel. He doesn't understand public and private. He don't understand shit, but he thinks he does. But let's look at it. It says, it is interesting that you pretend to be so intelligent. Okay? More so than most of us. No, not most of it, just you. But you recommend books like The Secret Banker's Manual that are so ridiculously written and so full of errors and stupidity that it boggles the mind. Then you tell us that you learned a massive amount from the book. So either you are not nearly as intelligent as you pretend or you're dishonest. Which is it? All right, it's neither of those. You are not intelligent enough to even understand what I'm talking about. That's the issue. The issue is not my intelligence. The issue is your lack of ability to comprehend what you're reading. Now, I'm taking issue. I don't even know if you read this book. Have you read this book? Have you read this? That would be my first question. I would put money on it that you haven't. You haven't even read it. You probably did a cursory examination of it, but I seriously doubt, if you're honest, which I doubt you're not an honest individual, that you even read the book. Okay, first and foremost. But let's take a look at the book and let's see because I couldn't understand what you were talking about. So we're going to look at the book. We're just going to look at some things on it. Okay, real quick. Now, the reason I like this book, because this is the book that is good for new individuals, all right, who want to use the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act to challenge or dispute a debt or something like that. I think it's written by a CPA. Tom Shoft is a CPA. He was a CPA. One of his students made a video as well that I put on this channel that he shows you, he's an accountant too, and he shows you how the fraud that is being conducted against you. So I thought that was very interesting because you pretend to be that this is so rife with errors. I'm like, okay, well, what are you talking about? So I think what we're going to conclude at the end of all this is that you're a stupid motherfucker. Now, I already know that you're a dumb motherfucker because you're over here fucking with me. So I already know I have to question your intelligence because you fucking with me. So you're stupid off the rip. But it's my job to annihilate you, decapitate you, and demonstrate to the entire world what an idiot you are. And then I'm going to block your dumb ass and you can go and get you another whatever and come over here and follow me some more. I appreciate the analytics that you provide to me too. Thank you. My bank account appreciates it too. All right, so if you're not joining us, we're sitting here. This guy, he's talking about this. So let's look at some things real quick. Let's look at it. All right, so here's the Banker's Secret Manual. Is this it? Is the one? I think this is it. Where is it? Okay, Banker's Secret Manual. All right, let's look at this thing. Now, the reason I like this book and I suggest it to my readers is because it already has forms for you to use. An individual that is new to this space is going to have a lot of difficulty drafting up documents. And this has some documents that you can use, all right? Let's look at a couple of them, okay? Because he says rife with errors. So let's go to the back of this book real quick. And let's look at something real quick, all right? Let's look at some of these documents that are in here. All right, so these are suggested court admissions. Now, what is the premise of Mr. Tom Shaw's book? The whole underlining premise of this book is that you were never given a loan. Now, I don't know if that is an error, if this idiot on here thinks that is an error, but the thing is you haven't been given a loan. We can go by generally accepted accounting principles. We can go into the Financial Accounting Standards Boards on page 21 of the financial institutions. We can get modern money mechanics. There's a lot of different reputable resources or reference material that we can go to substantiate what is being said, that there isn't any money. Loans are created. Money is created through making loans. So it's fiat currency. It's money by decree. And that the only real money is gold and silver. Let's just get to that, all right? I mean, do you agree with that? Or are you just more stupid than I already assumed that you are? All right? Will you agree? And this is another thing. Individuals like this, they won't answer that question. If you ask them and say, well, isn't gold and silver the only kind of money that there is? They're going to obfuscate and give you some long, drawn-out fucking explanation for something instead of just saying, yeah, gold and silver is it's been gold and silver for fucking eons. You have never seen a king want anything but gold. But I'm the idiot. So let's look at it. All right. So to start this off, this is generally accepted accounting principles that utilizes the matching principle. For every deposit, there is a offsetting liability that is recorded as an asset on the ledger. It's an asset to the bank because what? You just made a deposit. And they can loan against that deposit. And it is a liability because they got to give it back to you. You can go and use your debit card or something like that and withdraw the money, okay? Like when you deposit Federal Reserve notes or promissory notes. All right, so we're talking about loans. We're talking about exposing the fraud that has been perpetrated against you. All right, and these individuals have audited banks, all right? So let's get to it. It says the following are admissions. Admit or deny the following. One needs to modify admissions to fit their own court case. So obviously, you're not going to do this verbatim. You need to modify something because it is just a template of sorts. It kind of helps guide you in the direction that you need to go. So let's blow this up a little bit. All right, so the lending bank follows the Federal Reserve Bank policies and procedures. Okay, that's a question, yes or no? This is an admissions. This is what you give to the lending institution. All right, you can put this on a court pleading and you issue it to them and you want them to answer this, yes or no. The lending bank accepts all specie of money mandated by the Federal Reserve Bank. The lending bank follows generally accepted accounting principles or GAAP. The lending bank claims that they lent money to Joe Smith, all right, which is a generic term. You're going to obviously replace Joe Smith with your name or whatever, okay? The terms and conditions of the alleged agreement disclose that the bank or financial institution involved in the alleged loan was to use the borrower's promissory note like or as money or credit, which resulted in increasing the assets and liabilities of a bank and or financial institution. The terms and conditions of the alleged agreement disclose that the original lender never lent 1 cent of money as adequate consideration to purchase the promissory note from the alleged borrower. It's a yes or no question. All right, you can answer yes or no, affirm or disagree. The terms and conditions of the alleged agreement disclose that the economics of the alleged loan were that the borrower's promissory note were exchanged for something of equal value like money or a bank check or a bank draft or similar device that was returned to the borrower as a loan. Now, in reading this, I can only ascertain that you an attorney and you working with these motherfuckers. For you to come in and make a comment like that I'm dishonest or I'm not intelligent, I've been doing this for over 20 years. I've worked with attorneys. I don't know what you're talking about. I have to conclude that you are stupid and you don't know what you're talking about. You need to stay off my page. I'm reading this. What errors are you talking about? These are admissions right here. Let's look at the next one. I'm just kind of going through this. Strategy notices. All right, these are notices. Let's look at this real quick. Notices are used as evidence that the bank will not tell us the details of the agreement, which they won't. You have to understand the banks never come into the courtroom. Like if you're in a foreclosure, the bank is never there. It's only the attorney. The bank doesn't come into the courtroom. They're not going to testify. Remember the Credit River decision. The Credit River decision is the last time a bank came into the courtroom and testified. And we see the result of that. A judge ended up dead. An attorney ended up disbarred, if I remember correctly. Because it was an attorney, that was an attorney that filed that suit. So let's go on. It says, people must create their own notices depending on the situation and circumstances and how the credit card company responds. Copying a notice does not cut it. Now, this is what I'm saying. I was told also, you got to stop copying people's paperwork, word for word. You got to put things in your own word and on your own verbiage. You must adopt the notice to your situation. Look up the words tacit procreation, tacit admissions, and stare decisis in the law dictionary. Stare decisis means to stand by things already decided. That's case law. All right. People use the words with breach of agreement and the following 18 questions in the form of a notice. People send out a notice with the 18 questions and use tacit procreation and stare decisis, then send a second notice to cure the breach, and then a third notice of default. This is an administrative process. All right. You send them a first notice, a second notice, and then you get a notary to default them out. So that is the tacit procreation aspect of this that he's discussing, which is a principle of law that silence is acquiescence. I'm sure this idiot who made the comment, he understands that, all right? Obviously, you are more intelligent than me. If I'm to infer from your comment that I am either dishonest or not as intelligent as I say, for you to be able to make that determination, I guess that you're saying in a roundabout way that you're more intelligent than I am. And if you were, you would have a large following instead of that bullshit channel that you got. Look like a fishing fucking channel or whatever it is. Let's keep going. All right, so he's discussing an administrative process right here. People send out a notice with the 18 questions and using tacit procreation and stare decisis, then send a second notice to cure the breach, and then a third notice of default. People usually give the bank 10 to 30 days to respond, and usually that is in accordance with the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. I believe they have like 21 days to respond to something, okay? So you're gonna use a different time frame for this because this is all regulated by statute, all right? People call the questions inquiries in the notice. The following are 18 inquiries for a credit card company. People change it for mortgages. Number one, so this is a list of questions like in the form of a verification of debt letter or validation of debt letter. We all know that a debt is not valid unless it's been verified. All right, so number one, does Mr. Debt Collector have a contract with Mr. Yusef to collect the alleged debt? Please respond with yes or no in writing. Is it true that when a credit card holder signs a purchase receipt, that the receipt is used as a bank asset to give value to a check or similar instrument or credit to a bank account, resulting in a new bank asset and new bank liability? All right. Now we know that this is if we go and verify what's being said right here with FASB, the Financial Accounting Standards Board statement number. Let's look at FASB real quick. Let's look at this real quick and see if we can get some insight into what's being said right here, because we have an individual that says I'm not intelligent or I'm dishonest or both. And my thing is that you just a damn fool, you stupid, you over here a devil, and you trying to mislead people like you demons always do. And you're never intelligent enough to succeed in it because you're going against the creator of the balanced universe. And I've been sitting here to shit on motherfuckers like you. That's what he sent me to do, to decapitate you demons, all right? So let's go over here and let's look. All right, so let's look at Financial Accounting Standards Board Statement 95. Okay, I think that's is it right here. We can accept it. Pop up, bam. Let's go to page 21. These are the people that made GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. And we go over to, I believe, page 21. And we can go down here and we can see, because these people have put stuff out for you to find out. And right here, financial institutions. You see right here, let me read the whole thing for you. Financial institutions. Now, financial institutions Particularly commercial banks have long contended that their statements of changes in financial position are not meaningful. In response to the exposure draft, most asserted that a statement of cash flows would be equally meaningless. Banks generally have concluded that the nature of their business and the resulting nature of their cash flows are significantly different than the cash flows of non-financial enterprises, and that those differences render information about a bank's cash flows virtually meaningless. Banks who responded to the exposure draft generally said that their cash flows are much more complex and interrelated than those of other enterprises, and that a bank's cash flows are much larger in relation to net income and net assets than are the cash flows of non-financial enterprises. Here it is right here. Boom. They could commented that a bank creates money. They commented that a bank creates money. They commented that a bank creates money through its lending activities. So how does a bank create money? Through loans. And what are loans? Interest in things. They want a security interest in some sort of asset, like a car, a house, or something physical. Unless you got unsecured debt like credit cards. But they want some sort of security in an asset to make a loan to create money. They commented that a bank this is it right here. Let me highlight this for you, because y'all might be watching. They commented that a bank creates money through its lending activities that they said makes cash the product of a bank's earning activities. That means that y'all, that money is y'all's product. Like Toys R Us or somebody like a toy manufacturer. They're a manufacturer. They manufacturing money by decree out of thin motherfucking air. What is it that is so rife with errors in this Banker's secret manual, motherfucker? I get tired of you commenting. I've been watching you comment under my videos, and that's why I'm pointing you out today, because I'm finna get rid of your fucking ass, but I'm gonna make you look like a fool before I do. And if you wanna respond back on your own fucking channel, you know why nobody's listening to you? Because you don't know shit. They commented that the bank creates money through its lending activities. That, they said, makes cash the product of a bank's earning activities, just as finished goods are the product of a manufacturer's earning activities. This is Financial Accounting Standards Board. I'm going to put it in the chat. Y'all can download it, and you can read it yourself. Read it yourself. Put it in chat. There's a link. Read it. Somebody said, who's the dude I'm talking about? Let me put him back up there again so I can show y'all. This motherfucker right here, all right? Let me read it to you again. This is the comment he said. This is the comment. I know some of y'all joined late. Let me read this comment again. I had to find something to talk about today, so I'm just picking on this dude right here, because he always commenting under my videos, saying some old like smart shit, like he's so intelligent, and I'm so, like he's trying to poke holes in the things that I'm talking about. And it's like, man, shut up. All this shit is commercial, nigga. Okay? Ain't no money. There's a public and a private. What the fuck are you talking about? You sound like you stupid, all right? So right here, this is what he said, y'all. This is what he say. He say, it is interesting that you pretend to be so-and-so. I'm pretending, nigga? I think there's a general consensus about my level of intelligence and awareness. All right, so I don't have to pretend to do anything. I've been doing this for over 10 years. So I don't have to pretend to do anything. If I've been pretending for over 10 years, I'm a damn good fucking actor. Wouldn't you agree? But it says, it is interesting that you pretend to be so intelligent, more so than most of us. But you recommend, now, I don't think I'm more intelligent than anyone. I just think that I am an expert in my subject matter. Okay, I don't think I'm more intelligent. I'm not a rocket scientist, and I don't know shit about making a rocket. This is the subject matter that we're discussing, all right? But you recommend books like the Secret Banker's Manual that are so ridiculously written. I mean, ridiculously written, and so full of errors and stupidity that it boggles the mind. It boggles my goddamn mind that you don't comprehend this, you stupid ass motherfucker. That's what boggles my mind. That you, this motherfucker's stupid. Are you an attorney? Because if you're an attorney, this is some of that devil shit that you do. This, you know, a CPA wrote this, right? It's a CPA wrote this. Tom Schaff is a CPA, man. Licensed, just like, you know, licensed attorney, licensed CPA. Someone who audits banks. Someone who was an expert witness in court and testified to the things that are being talked about in this book. Man, stop at Sean Lynch. I'm gonna kick your ass out. We talking about something else. All right, let me just put you on timeout. Don't ask no goddamn questions. I'm sitting here talking about something else. All right. Don't ask me no questions about nothing. You ask me an off-topic question, you're gonna end up in timeout in the corner. I'm gonna put your ass in timeout. Focus on what we're talking about, man. Focus. Focus. That's why y'all ask these dumbass questions that are not germane to anything that, y'all ask questions aren't even germane to what I teach. So let's look at this. All right, let's look at this some more. Let's go back. Let's go back. So, that was the Financial Accounting Standards Board Statement 95. Gene Keaton is the one who hit me to this. These Financial Accounting Standards Boards, because he said if you wanted to discharge debt, you need to understand how to do the accounting, and these documents tell how you do the accounting. It's 95, I forgot the other one. It's Statement 140, I think. There's different statements. I have to go back and look them up. But I'm always concentrating on this one right here because this one right here, they admit that, hey, they create money by, by their lending activities, And I got this as a result. I was following, we were doing something in securitization. I got to look up the document where this attorney, he wrote the Financial Accounting Standards Board. It's about that exposure draft. The exposure draft was a result of them trying to get 100% interest in securities. See, when you do a car contract or a mortgage, there's always certain rights that you retain. The right that you retain is the right of set-off. But in order for you to waive that right, they got to give you full disclosure, which they don't want to do. So that's why they're talking about the exposure draft, because they're trying to make these securities more secure. But in order to do that, they got to give you full disclosure, which they didn't feel like they needed to do. They're like, we don't need to do that. And they don't want to do that. So they don't want you to know what your full level of rights are. So, and they even made an argument that you got this claims and defense notice in your car contracts that the Federal Trade Commission requires them to put. They should be in mortgage contracts too, but I've never seen one. But it's in there, and that is not a warning for you. That claims and defense notice is not a notice for you, the consumer. It's a notice for the individuals on Wall Street who purchase these securities, to warn them, to let them know that you have retained certain rights. And one of the rights are a set-off. So that's what makes this investment a risk, that these people might wake up one day and realize what is going on, and you could risk losing everything. Get your car contract out, look at it, see if you can find the claims and defense notice on your car contract. All right, so let's get back. All right, so let's look at some more of these. Let's look at some more of these real quick. Where is it at? Where is this at? Let's see. All right, so we going through these notices. These are strategy notices. This is a strategy, and You got to learn how to use strategy against these debt collectors. You know, you ask them questions. The power is always in the person asking the question. Okay, if you're answering questions, you're in an inferior position. You're in the superior position, the person who's asking the questions. All right, this is why some judges, you start asking them questions. They'll say, you don't ask any questions, I'm asking the questions. Oh, yes, I do. You're a public servant. You're going to answer some questions. And because you swore to uphold the Constitution for the United States of America. What you mean you don't act, you're the one asking questions? I'm going to ask you some questions too, because we are sovereigns. And this is a government for the people and by the people. We didn't know monarchy. But that's what they want y'all to think. Some sort of oligarchy or something like that. All right, number 4, was full disclosure given regarding if the credit card holder was to provide the funding for the credit card loan per bookkeeping entries. Now, we're talking about per bookkeeping entries. In other words, we want to see the books. Now, they have what is called a subpoena ducis tecum. Okay, write that down. Subpoena ducis tecum. This is what this dude do. When he started talking shit to me, man, I don't even know why you talk shit to me, man. You know how long I've been doing this? Why would you even open your fucking mouth, man, and start talking to me? So we got a subpoena ducis tecum. What is a subpoena ducis tecum? A subpoena ducis tecum is a court order in Texas that requires a person or entity to appear in court and produce documents or other items at a specific time and place. The Latin phrase ducis tecum translates to "you shall bring with you." Okay, so subpoena ducis tecum is a subpoena for documents. All right, this is when we want to go into this auditing. Okay, Your Honor, could you please direct the prosecutor or the solicitor or the plaintiff to produce the assessment for their claim, along with a certified audit trail of all transactions, including vouchers, as well as all disbursement documents and receipts. I need an accounting. And the UCC, what is that for the UCC accounting? It's called Request for Accounting. Where is it at? Here it is, 9210. Request for accounting, request regarding list of collateral or statement of account. I want an accounting. I want an accounting of everything that you did. I want the off-balance sheet, reports. I want an accounting, okay? I want you to verify in writing that I owe you something. See, the thing about it is they get you to testify against yourself. They come in and ask you questions. Is this your signature? Were you making payments on the loan? And things like that. Which, when you answer those questions, they don't have to provide any evidence because you just testified against yourself. Their thing is to get you to default, which 75% of debt collectors collect money because most of y'all don't even answer the letter. That's why it's very lucrative for them, and you see so many of them getting into that business because they write you a letter, send it to you in the mail, tell you got 30 days to answer, and if you don't answer, it's going to be presumed that the debt is valid. You don't answer, they take it to court, default you out, and then they start, getting money out of your check or skip tracing your assets or whatever. All because you gave them the easiest win possible, and that is through your silence. Silence is acquiescence. Somehow it applies for them, but it don't apply for us when we do an administrative process and they don't answer. But if they send us a letter and we don't answer, they can take it to court and get a summary judgment. I'm not allowing ignorant people to invade my space. Ignorant people provide me content. This is content. This damn fool. I've been silent on this dude for a long time. He always open up his mouth and everything, saying things. I was like, okay, he wants some attention. Let me give him some attention. Go make a video. you still have to learn how to correspond with them confidently. Yeah, well, confident. How you learn. This is why I suggested this manual. He don't understand it because he ain't a teacher. He's not a teacher. He's never taught anybody shit. Okay. So the thing about it is I approach this subject with an understanding that this is new to a lot of you. It's quite a daunting task to draft your own documents from scratch, and you've never done this before. So when you see me recommend certain books like the Banker's Secret Manual, the reason I'm doing this is because it already has templates in there that you can utilize. This will assist you in elevating your understanding of the subject matter. So right here, we got some admissions. This is to a credit card company, but I'm going to tell you what I really like. This is notice of adequate assurance and due performance. This is this is under the UCC too. This is under, I forgot the, right here, UCC 2-609. Right to adequate assurance and due performance. I don't understand what he's saying. Rife with errors that is it's mind-boggling that I know what it was. You ain't read this shit, man. You have not read the Banker's Secret Manual. You's a damn lie. You ain't read this book, man. You sitting there talking because you think I ain't read it. But anyway. Notice of adequate assurance of due performance, certified mail number. Of course, we're going to send it certified mail because we need 2 witnesses. I'm suggesting that not only do you use certified or registered mail, certified mail is fine, but also use what is called an affidavit of mailing. Where would you find an affidavit of mailing? Let me show you that real quick. All right, let me show you an affidavit of mailing. If you go to sbcuniversity.com, go over, you don't have to sign in, just go over here to my PDF. I put a lot of PDFs on the outside of my website, so you don't have to be a member. Everybody, you pay for everything. Now, it's a whole bunch of free stuff, because y'all like free stuff. Okay, so right here, Cracking the Code 3rd edition. All right, so right here, if you go down here, Cracking the Code 3rd edition, and you go down here to page, what page is that? This is Cracking the Code 3rd edition is an excellent book for beginners. Everybody's always where you start. That's an excellent book for the beginner. It's an excellent book for the beginner. Excellent book for the beginner. Don't let them tell you it's out. Somebody says it's outdated. You's a damn lie. You don't know what your hell. You ain't read it either. You got to understand, most of the people who comment on things, they haven't even read the book. These people don't be reading this stuff. I was locked up, so I read it. I took the time to actually read it, look up the words, try to cross-reference things. These dudes didn't do this. And the average cat on the street is not taking that much time to read. He's not. Most of the research that has been given to people is being conducted by dudes in prison because they're the ones that got the time. Let's get right here. Where is this thing at? This is an affidavit of mailing right here. Okay, how to sign your name without liability. I did a whole video on that section. I read that and made a video out of it. Is that it? No, it must be up above that. Hold on. Oh, yeah, here we go. And make sure you go to the post office and get one of these. This is a registered mail book to record all your registered mail in it. Definitely a good book. Here's the affidavit of mailing right here. This right here, You want to have you want to have a certificate of non-response. I'm sorry. You want to have a certified mail, and you want to use an affidavit of mailing. This is the affidavit of mailing that I still use to this very day. It is a notary document. All it is just the notary attesting that they are declaring that they mailed the documents that were actually mailed. That is all the notary is doing. The notary is not involved in the substance of whatever it is that you're engaged in. All the notary is a witness to the fact that they mailed something for you, and then whether or not something came back in a specified time. That is all the notary is there for, because we're defaulting someone out. And so for tacit procreation or silence by acquiescence to be applied to this, we need someone who can certify that. And that's what your certificate of non-response does. And in here, Tom Schaft is talking about an administrative process. He's not using that term, but that is what he's talking about when he's talking about his notices. All right, so when we get back over here, this is notice of adequate assurance of due performance, certified mail, XYZ company, hereinafter lender. I've been robbed. I've been robbed is you. All right, you replace it with your name. Hereinafter borrower, that's your address, and the date. Alleged credit card number, this debt is disputed. Okay, we know that comes under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, 15 U.S.C. 1692G. All right, let's read that real quick. Let's read the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, 15 U.S.C. 1692. All right, congressional. Wait a minute, hold on. Is this it? I might have gave you the wrong one. Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. It's it right here. That's the other codification. 15 U.S.C. Congressional Findings, Acquisition. Okay, 1692G. All right. I had it right. I just didn't put the G on it. 16 G. Okay. Notice of debt contents. Within 5 days after the initial communication with the consumer, a connection with the collection of any debt, a debt collector shall, unless the following information is contained in the initial communication or the consumer has paid the debt, send the consumer a written notice containing 1, the amount of the debt, 2, the name of the creditor to whom the debt is owed, 3, a statement that unless the consumer, within 30 days after receipt of this notice, disputes the validity of the debt or any portion thereof, the debt will be assumed to be valid by the debt collector. Notice that all Dunning letters contain that statement. You see where they're getting it from. It's in harmony with the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. 4, a statement that if the consumer notifies the debt collector in writing within the 30-day period that the debt or any portion thereof is disputed, the debt collector will obtain verification of the debt. Okay, verification is the key word. Verification of the debt. All right, this is what everybody skips over, even when you're doing a validation of debt. What is a verification of debt? Well, let's look real quick and see what a verification of debt is. Let's look at it. Go to SPC University. And when we log in, all right, we're going to come right. It's going to take you right to this page. Go to our dictionaries. All right. And let's go over here and we're going to look up verification. We're going to use a Black's Law Dictionary, go to Black's. And we're going to let's go to 9th edition. I'm always using 8th. Let's use a 9th edition. We're going to go to the V's. And we're going to look at what a verification is. Because a lot of people don't understand that. Control F, verification. All right, so here it is, verification, all right? All right, verification. A formal declaration made in the presence of an authorized officer, such as a notary, public, or in some jurisdictions under oath, but not in the presence of such an officer, whereby one swears to the truth of the statements in the document. Okay, now this is in harmony with the fact that every debt has to be attested to under penalty of perjury. And what they are doing to you is everything that they do is to circumvent that of having to attest to something under penalty of perjury. That's why they love the default notice, the default so much. They don't have to do that because you don't answer. So they default you out. They send you the notice, you get all scared. Oh my God, I got a debt collector notice. Oh, the attorney has wrote me a letter and they're demanding that I pay them $3,000 for some bullshit that happened 4 years ago that didn't nobody even really loan me any money on me. What will I do, Yusef? What will I do? I know what to do. I'm just going to ignore it, put my head in the sand, and just hope it goes away. And next thing you know, they're garnishing your wages. And you are, Yusef, they're taking money out of my check. Well, did you go to court? No, I didn't go to court. They're beating you on process, not on truth. All debts had to be attested to under penalty of perjury. That's one of the things, that's the main thing you got to remember. Because they ain't going to never swear under nothing. I've been doing this 20 years. I ain't seen them do it one time. The banks, they don't even come into the courtroom. So do we got that? Do we understand that? What is not to understand, if money in usual and ordinary acceptation, it means gold, silver, or paper money used as circulating medium of exchange and does not embrace notes, bonds, and evidences. It's gold or silver or certificates that are redeemable in gold or silver. Say it like that, man. Don't confuse people. It's gold or silver or gold certificates or silver. You remember what silver certificate money used to look like? Silver certificates? Let me show y'all what that looks like. Y'all remember what a silver certificate looked like? This is a silver certificate. This is a silver certificate. This was money. And silver dollars, remember back when we were young? They had real silver dollars. I remember when I was young, I didn't know how valuable they were when I was young. This is a silver certificate. All right? That can be redeemed. You could take that to the Treasury Department, they give you real silver for it. Or you want a gold certificate. That's money. That is real money, a silver certificate. Notice the Federal Reserve name is not on there anywhere. What does it say? This certifies that there is on deposit in the Treasury of the United States of America $1 in silver payable to the bearer on demand. That's money. I can go to the Treasury Department and they're going to hand me real silver. Or I can do a gold certificate. Gold certificate. This is a gold certificate. This is real money. That's a gold certificate. This certifies that there has been deposited in the Treasury of the United States of America $20 in gold coin payable to the bearer on demand. I can take this and they're going to give me $20 in gold when I go to the Treasury Department. So real money is gold or silver or certificates that are redeemable in gold or silver. That's it. Now, I don't understand what's complicated about that. What's complicated? Somebody gonna make the shit complicated. Let me look in the chat. Somebody gonna attempt to make that shit complicated, and somebody gonna listen to them and ask me a question. Well, Yusef, if gold and silver is really money, what about? This nigga making shit. You don't make it. The truth is simple. The lie is complex. So look, somebody made it complex. Paper money, okay, that's paper money. Circulate, paper money is just money of account. It's accounting. Paper money is credit. You have to use an accounting. Paper money is just a money of account. Money of exchange is gold or silver. The government's not involved in it. That's when private citizens could engage in commerce without the intervention of the government or the Federal Reserve when we had gold and silver. The reason you're paying taxes on everything right now is because you don't have any real money. You're having to operate in a territorial jurisdiction under the Federal Reserve, under a contract with the Federal Reserve. All right, so that's it for money, okay? It's not complex. It's not what I think. Who said it? what my man J.P. Morgan. I think J.P. Morgan said it the best. Yeah, he said it the best. What'd he say? Gold is money. Everything else is credit. Real simple. Let a banker explain it to you. And when you read the protocols of the learned elder design, they're going to talk about that all through there. We got the gold. We got the gold. What does it say? Let's look at it real quick. What does it say? Protocols of the learned elder design. Protocols. Where's the FBI? Let me find the FBI one. The FBI, they tweeted it out. Here the vault right here, the FBI vault. Man, they got everything on here. Look at this, Zionism Organization of America. I got to go back and read this. Damn, that look good. Put Zion in that protocol. I got to read that. All right, here's the book right here. Protocols of Learned Elder Design. Let me see if I can find another version of it that I can search. Let me see if I can find a searchable one. Let me see if this is it right here. I think I can pull this up. Protocols of Learned. Yeah, I think I can search this one right here. Yeah. Where'd it go? See if I can search this. All right, let's see. Gold 33 times in here. Gold, mint, gold. All right, gold, okay. In our day, the power which has, here the protocol, this is what these people telling you now. In our day, the power which has replaced that of the rulers who were liberal is the power of gold. Time was when faith ruled. The idea of freedom is impossible of realization because no one knows how to use it with moderation. It is enough to hand over a people to self-government for a certain length of time for that people to be turned into a disorganized mob. That's why they don't like the United States of America, because we were we were an example that something could work other than a monarchy, an oligarchy. This was self-government. And what you're looking at is the rulers of the world attacking the United States because they don't want this to be an example, because they want to bring back kings. They believe there should be one king and rulership over the entire planet. So they said, we got the gold. Let me read it again. It said, where it says, cost of gold and value of Jewish sacrifice. Okay, it says, through the press, we have gained the power to influence while remaining ourselves in the shade. Thanks to the press, we have got the gold in our hands, notwithstanding that we have had to gather it out of oceans of blood and tears. But it has paid us, though we have sacrificed many of our people. Each victim on our side is worth in the sight of God 1,000 goyim. Look at this, man. Let's read this, man, on gold. Right here. This hatred shall stir, it's right here, what it said, we shall create by all our secret subterranean methods open to us and with the aid of gold, which is all in our hands, a universal economic crisis whereby we shall throw up on the streets whole mobs of workers simultaneously in all the countries of Europe. They intentionally creating all this joblessness. And once again, they say, how are we going to do it? Because we got the gold. We got the gold. Let's look at it again. Cult of gold. Okay, their only god is gain. That is gold, which they will erect into a veritable cult for the sake of those material delights which it can give. Gold gives material delights. Gold. Okay. A, it would say all the wheels of the machinery of all the states go by the force of the engine, which is in our hands, and that engine of the machinery of the states is gold. How many times do these people got to tell you, man? They be tricking y'all, getting y'all to give up your gold. I talked to a dude at a We Buy Gold place. He said these idiots come and give us their gold for Federal Reserve notes. And then they turned around. This is what they did in the 90s, right? In the 90s, to get all the gold out of your hand, they took the gold and then tricked y'all into wearing platinum, Jay-Z and all them, and put cheap-ass diamonds on it. Diamonds ain't worth shit. Diamonds ain't worth shit. They're not even traded as a commodity. Take one to the pawn shop and let a pawnbroker tell you, you can keep them goddamn diamonds. Give me the gold. But they use diamonds to inflate. That's why when you ice out a Rollie, they say you fucked it up. Why did you put all that bullshit on that Rolex? Diamonds ain't worth shit. Anybody in Africa know you can find diamonds on the fucking ground. They got a surplus of diamonds. Things have value when they are rare. Diamonds are not rare. They use diamonds to inflate the cost of jewelry. That's why you see me, I mostly wear gold. 14 karat. And that's what they did. They took the gold from you. 14 karat gold. I've been buying jewelry because I was a baller way back in the 90s. We used to buy 14 karat jewelry. You go anywhere. You go to damn flea markets and get it. Now, after they took the gold back and gave it to you, now they gave y'all 10 karat gold. You go in all these malls with all these damn jewelry stores and everything in there is 10 karat gold. They keep the 14 karat gold in the back like it's goddamn in a vault, like it's something special or something like that. Everything you see on me is 14 karat and up. Why would you buy this cheap ass shit? Gold is money, okay? Kings wanted gold. The sovereigns in the United States wanted gold. We went up into the mountains and dug the gold up out the ground. And after we dug it out the ground, them people tricked you into giving it to them. And now they talking shit to you about it and gave you monopoly money and a job. I did add an extension PDF. I know about adding extension PDF to it. Been knowing about that for years. All right, so right here. All right, so gold right here, the machinery of gold. Let's read something else. Gold standard. You are aware that the gold standard has been the ruin of the states which adopted it, for it has not been able to satisfy the demands for money, the more so that we have removed gold from circulation as far as possible. The gold standard was what ruined the country. We don't really need gold. In our hands is the greatest power of our day, gold. In 2 days, we can procure from our storehouses any quantity we may please. Gold has always been and always will be irresistible power. Handled by expert hands, it will always be the most useful lever for those who possess it. This is when, who's my man who helped do the Federal Reserve? His name is, what is guy's name? I think Paul Warburg, Jewish. Paul Warburg made the statement that the gold is wasting away in your hands. They really thought that the citizens didn't need to have gold, that they don't know what to do with it. The only people that know what to do with the gold are the elite, so they took it out of your hands. They'll tell you this is a forgery. They'll say, oh, this is a forgery document. With gold, we can buy the most rebellious conscious. What are they doing right now with your government? Everybody on government in your government is for sale. Cynthia McKinney already whistleblowed on it. You can't even serve in government unless you sign a pledge to serve Israel. We can fix the rate of all values, the current price of all products, can subsidize all state loans, and thereby hold the states at our mercy. Already the principal banks, the exchanges of the entire world, the credits of all the governments are in our hands. The other great power is the press. By repeating without cessation certain ideas, the press succeeds in the end in having them accepted as actualities. In other words, they keep playing the same thing over and over again and your ass gonna believe it. Because you're weak-minded. Anybody who believes the press is a facile-minded fool. You won't even consider the fact that you're being subjected to propaganda. You ain't thought about that. What does it say down here? We shall force the Christians into wars by exploiting their pride and their stupidity. And that's what they do. Them Jews, they get you, Israel get you into a war. They don't put none of their people in it and send all your Christian sons and daughters over there to die. And they don't send their kids. Muhammad Ali had it right. He said them Vietnamese ain't did nothing to me. They will massacre each other and clear the ground for us to put our own people into. Man, this thing read like a manual. Let us try to replace the circulation of gold with paper money. Our chest will absorb the gold and we shall regulate the value of the paper, which will make us masters of all the positions. Is it a wonder why Jews run almost all the industries in your country? They own all the television channels, all the media, all the music industry, all the pornography industry, all the banking, 75% of your positions in government because you ain't been paying attention to that. Okay, because they control the money. That's why they got everything. That's why that's why they own Facebook. That's why they own Instagram. That's why they own YouTube. That's why they own Google. All right, they own all of it because they the ones got the money to finance it. They can finance their people. If one of your people come up with an idea, you ain't got nobody in place to put some money behind it. They do. Ain't that they smarter than you. They got the money. Jamie, what's my name? Jamie Dimon of Chase. I've been contending with Jamie Dimon. Yeah, I got a problem with you, Jamie. You wouldn't give me one. You took my Chase, man. You took my Chase card, man. I had like a $35,000 line of credit on that, man. You just took it for no reason, man. For what? Because they had COVID? I got perfect credit score. You the only one out of all the banks I deal with. Let's keep going. The gold of the nations is the real Lord of Israel. The gold mart of England is closed on the Jews' holy days, said the Evening Standard, October 12, 1921. Gold was unregistered today owing to the Jewish religious observance. In the Jews' expert hands, gold has bought parliament, premiers, parties, politics, principles and consciousness, and the doings of the parliament which was once England's to reveal. Jews have flooded all nations with paper money, retaining the gold to themselves. Now, we got Cynthia McKinney now they say, now if you're saying this is a lie, why we got whistleblowers saying that it's true? Let's look at this right here. As for the principal banks and exchanges, the names of Rothschild, Gwinner, Bletchrody, Schroeder, Schuster, Goldschmidt, Goshen, Spire, Schiff, Loeb, Kuhn and Loeb, Castle, Samuel, Warburg, Guggenheim sufficiently attest the overlordship of Jewry and Lucy's empire. But without control of the world's press, the power of gold could not be maintained. That's why they own all your press. Every news channel, all of CNN is almost completely Jewish. The reporters, everybody. Y'all know that? It's right in front of your face. How you gonna deny it? Somebody over here got the audacity, the unmitigated gall to say I'm lying about what I just said? So I can make you look like a damn fool? Cynthia McKinney. Go watch everything on Cynthia McKinney on YouTube and on BitChute. I'll show you right here. Let me show you right here. It's Cynthia McKinney right here. Let's look at this real quick. Cynthia McKinney. All right, let's listen to Cynthia real quick. Tell y'all what's going on. Let me see if I can download it real quick. See, I load this up. I'm gonna let y'all listen to this real quick. Just listen to this woman. It's only 9 minutes. It's only 9 minutes. I want y'all to listen to this woman tell y'all something, man. I don't know why. It's just. Oh, here it is right here. Let y'all listen to this woman real quick. I'm gonna take myself out of it. And I'm gonna let y'all listen to this lady.
There is tremendous pressure inside the political process to make sure that the voters stay aligned inside either the Democrat or Republican parties. Why? Because both of those parties have been captured by special interests. And those special interests are, quite frankly, the antithesis of the interests of the people. And so therefore, for example, if people in the United States care about education, but unfortunately there's a banker that gets in between the student and the student's ability to go to school, if they care about health care, there's the insurance industry that gets in between the patient and the doctor who is seeking to provide care. And so we have all of these special interests that have positioned themselves in between the political decision makers and the people themselves. The process now is more responsive to those special interests than it is to the values and the wishes of the American people. When I first went to Congress, I did not go to Congress to pay particular attention to any area outside of the black community that I represented that was in need, and of course U.S. Africa policy, which was abhorrent and unfortunately still is. But what I bumped into at almost every turn were these special interests. And there's no more special interest that has any more influence than the pro-Israel lobby. And so then when I did outreach, for example, to the Muslim community in the United States, I bumped into the pro-Israel lobby, which of course does not want to have to contend with a politicized Muslim community, which is as large as and is as wealthy as the pro-Israel lobby is in the United States. So yes, I first-handedly and also frontally was assaulted by the presence of the pro-Israel lobby to such an extent.
Physically assaulted?
Well, politically assaulted.
Okay.
To such an extent that my father had to ask the question publicly, what does Stone Mountain, Georgia have to do with Israel? What I was doing was servicing the needs of my constituents. And I was not allowed to do that because I did not toe the line on U.S. policy for Israel.
What line is that they wanted? Were you told directly that you had to toe a line, or explain that to me?
Well, every candidate for Congress at that time had a pledge. They were given a pledge to sign. And I was new on the scene. And so the pledge had Jerusalem as the capital city, the military superiority of Israel.
American Congress people have to sign this pledge.
Yes, you sign the pledge. If you don't sign the pledge, you don't get money. So, for example, it was almost like water torture for me. My parents observed this. I would get a call, and the person on the other end of the phone would say, I want to do a fundraiser for you. And then we would get into the planning. I would get really excited because, of course, you have to have money in order to run a campaign. And then 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the planning, they would say, did you sign the pledge? And then I would say, no, I didn't sign the pledge. And then my fundraiser would go kaput. I made it public. This probably nobody had said anything about it. But I made it public, and then, you know, the excuse was, well, you know, those were just overzealous advocates for Israel. So then the tactic changed. And but this is what is done for 535 members of the United States Congress. 100 senators, 435 members of the House of Representatives have to now write a paragraph, which basically says the same thing. So it's not a pledge, but it's a paragraph, and you post it, and, you know, there are these forums you have to go to at the synagogues or whatever. And then, you know, if you don't perform appropriately, then you don't get money to run your campaign. The problem is that it requires an awful lot of money to run a campaign. And whether it's a woman's organization, an environmental organization, people can read about this on the internet if they're interested. If you go to thomas.loc.gov, that is the official United States Congress website. And if you put in the name Gus Savage, because Gus Savage was a black member of Congress who was targeted by the pro-Israel lobby. And he had the foresight to use his position as an incumbent in the House of Representatives to put his experience on the congressional record. For the entire existence of the United States Congress now, people will be able to access his experience. And what he wrote was that it was the Garden Club of New Jersey that gave his opponent $5,000. But it wasn't really the Garden Club of New Jersey. It was the activists who were associated with AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Well, the district that I initially represented in Congress, I represented so many districts because redistricting was a tool that was used to target me, to eliminate me from the Congress. But the district that initially sent me there was a district that was comprised of rural blacks in the black belt of...
Here's again from the Washington Post, October 7th, 1988. Let's see what kinds of interference, for what purpose, and who do they attack. AIPAC's major goal, says this article from the Washington Post, is maintaining the level of foreign aid to Israel, now $3 billion a year, and defeating arms sales to Arab countries. Now, what it's beginning to show you is that the interest, the purpose of AIPAC is to promote a foreign nation, not America's interest. An organization operating within America, composed of Americans, in the interest of a foreign nation, interfering in the internal affairs and the elections of this nation. Let me show you. Let me go just go a little further now. Here's again from the Washington Post, October 7th, 1988. Let's see what kinds of interference, for what purpose, and who do they attack. Let's watch this. This article written by the same Charles Babcock. It says this. Now listen closely. The American Israel Public Affairs Committee, the nation's chief pro-Israel lobby, has become a subject of attention twice in the past week because of reports of partisan involvement or personal attacks in the 1988 political campaign. One case centers on a year-old internal AIPAC staff memo urging that Jewish reporters, and I'm reading from this article, this is not Gus Savage saying this. One case centers on a year-old internal AIPAC staff memo urging that Jewish reporters raise questions about Jesse L. Jackson's sex life and finances. AIPAC, pursuing the interests of a foreign government, beginning to try to develop surreptitious means of hurting, damaging a presidential candidate in this nation. This gets closer and closer, as you would notice, to something un-American. AIPAC's major goal, says this article from the Washington Post, is maintaining the level of foreign aid to Israel, now $3 billion a year, and defeating arms sales to Arab countries. Now, what it's beginning to show you is that the interest, the purpose of AIPAC is to promote a foreign nation, not America's interest. An organization operating within America, composed of Americans, in the interest of a foreign nation.
Dual citizenship with Victoria Nolan, Secretary for... Nice to see you.
No, not good to see you. Shut the fuck up.
No, I gotta keep on going.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You're the only person that's willing to come up here and say
No, I'm saying something because I didn't even know what the fuck you're talking about. It's fucked up.
I know they run the world. I can't help
okay.
Okay. Do you believe in God,
what?
yes or no?
Fuck no.
Okay,
because there's no God
okay,
and you
I
are
hear you.
fucked up.
No. I love you. And
No,
it's nice
you're
to see you.
creepy as fuck and you're weird.
It's still nice to see you.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you gotta calm down, buddy. Nobody wants
No, I still gotta go. Victoria Nolan, Secretary for Political Affairs, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. David Cohen, Deputy Director of the CIA, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Who's in charge of the most powerful positions of our nation? Janet Yellen, Secretary of the Treasury, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Merrick Garland, Attorney General, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Alejandro Mayorkas, Secretary of Homeland Security for our country, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Avril Haines, Director of National Intelligence, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Hey, brother, hope you have a blessed day. Keep on fighting, brother. Jeff Zients, White House Chief of Staff, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Four-star Admiral Rachel Levine, U.S. Assistant Secretary of Health. U.S. Assistant Secretary of Health. Transgender, can't figure out their gender, but they're the Secretary of Health for our country and a four-star Admiral, Jew. Antony Blinken, Secretary of the State. Dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Wendy Sherman, Deputy Secretary of the State. Dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Victoria Nolan, Secretary for Political Affairs, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. David S. Cohen, Deputy Director of the CIA, dual citizenship with Israel, Jew. Lieutenant Colonel Jennifer Pritzker, transgender, Jew. Now we'll talk about who's behind abortion. Mr. Ballou helped father the abortion pill, known for father of the abortion pill. worldwide for his work on RU-486 mifepristone. Jew. Alan Guttmacher, president of Planned Parenthood, vice president of the American Eugenics Society. Jew. Vanya Mindell started Planned Parenthood with Margaret Sanger and our sister. Jew. Founding father of abortion movement, one of the founders of the pro-abortion group NARA. Lord Slater. Jew. Henry Mortengauler, father of abortion in Canada, first doctor in North America to use vacuum aspiration, which means using a vacuum to suck up the poor baby fetuses from the mother. He's a Jew. Gregory Pincus, father of the birth control pill, worked with Margaret Sanger and Abraham Stone to begin hormonal contraceptive research. Jew. Malvin Weisberg operated an abortion clinic in California where 16,431 aborted fetuses were found in his shipping container on his property. Jew. Paul Elric, father of the overpopulated.
Okay, I had to pause it right there because that shipping container guy found those aborted fetuses in the shipping container. I forgot his name. Aborted fetuses found in shipping container. And 16,000 right here, New York Times, aborted fetuses. Let me see if I can put it on the screen for you to see these aborted fetuses. Yeah, here it is right here. So you see right here, because I researched everything he was saying. He was 100% correct on everything that he said. These 16,500 fetuses to get buried after a fight on a few. Where was that? He's a Jewish guy. Robert John files, one of the aborted fetuses. Shipping bin right here, about 16,000 fetuses found in shipping bin. Cannot be buried as human fetuses, the appeals. I'm looking for the guy, but if you just research this dude who he was just talking about, what were they doing with these fetuses? And, they researching all of this. When you go and look and research the things behind all of this, everything that is going on the planet, it goes back to these protocols of the learned of the design that they claim is a forgery, that they claim is some sort of a lie. But everything, when you read it, you're going to see that everything in there is happening. That's what Henry Ford said in his book that he wrote, The International Jew. He made reference to the protocols of the learned of the design as well. And a lot of other people have too. And they keep saying that this is a lie, but it just seems like they've been following a plan and nobody's paying attention to it. And their plan rests on control of the media and control of the gold. Control of the media and control of the gold. And anybody gets in the way, all the people who were resistant to the Federal Reserve Act, they ended up dead on the Titanic. Every person who was against the Federal Reserve Act ended up dead. There is a guy I did research on. He tried to expose what was happening in 1933. He ended up dead. It's a lot of people end up dead y'all don't know anything about. Because they control the media. And God has given you the internet. And all they're doing right now is they're keeping you from the internet. They keep y'all corralled on certain sites. They keep you on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. That's it. 90% of the people on the planet, that's all they do is stay on those social media. They've been able to keep you confined to those areas where you don't even research anything. Amazon. Y'all stay on just certain platforms. That's it. Let me get back. This is draining, man, talking about all this stuff. It really is draining. I don't think y'all have any idea of, somebody comes on, they say, oh, you're not as intelligent as you claim to me. I'm like, man, what are you talking about, man? What I need to, why are you questioning my intelligence? This stuff is right in front of your face. You can show this shit to a 7th grader and they can see it. Hell, I understood a lot of this. I understood in the 7th grade that gun rights was to protect us from government and wasn't for hunting. I knew that in like 6th, 7th grade because they used to teach it to us. Back when we used to say the Pledge of Allegiance in the classroom. But the American people, they don't even know that. They think, oh, you got gun rights so you can hunt. The guns was put in place in case your government ever became despotic, that you could rise up and take your government back. That is what the Second Amendment was for. So how could you even let your public servants even consider taking that away from you? Because you've been dumbed down. You haven't had any civics training. Where am I at? Where am I at? All right, so that was my little presentation for the day. Go through, I know I kind of digressed a little bit because I went into the protocols to learn the design. I was supposed to be concentrated on this, this Banker's secret manual. Let's take a couple of looks at some other documents that I want y'all to understand on Banker's secret manual real quick. But I want you to be aware that the money is what is the root of all of this. There's really no national debt. That $34 trillion is in Federal Reserve notes. That's not in gold and silver. That's a fictitious obligation. And it's not your debt. It's the United States debt. It's the United States corporation's debt. That's why they had to give you a social security number and make you a surety for the national debt by offering you benefits and privileges. Under the Republican form of government, there is no welfare state. The welfare state exists in a democracy. In the Republic, you're free. You are responsible for yourself. That's what freedom means. Freedom means you got to build your own fucking house. You got to feed your own family. You got to raise your own goddamn kids. See, that's when we had the concept of family. Not running around fucking as many bitches or hoes fucking as many niggas as they want to. You a nasty ass woman if you out there fucking multiple men. I'm telling you right now, you are filthy if you letting multiple men ejaculate in you. And you're an irresponsible man if you running around impregnating women and you're not taking care of your children. Just got 20 baby mamas and shit like that. See, with freedom comes responsibility. This is why these people said this in the protocols of the learned of the design, that when you give people freedom, they don't know how to handle it. They really think people are animals. And people do a lot to justify that assessment. It's filthy. That's filthy. You gonna let another man come behind you and put his penis in you, and you just let another man ejaculate in you, and you got his sperm swimming around in you? Once again, I'm gonna refer everyone to Sperm Wars. You need to read that if you're a man or a woman, so you can understand why this parental fraud or this fraud that is going on, you know, where you're not the baby, paternity fraud, why it's so big. The women they not really a lot of times intentionally doing it. They really believe that a certain man is the baby. They just done bought into this, oh, sperm dies in your body after 3 days. That is the lie. So they think, oh, well, I had sex with this guy, and 2 weeks later I had sex with this guy. They don't understand sperm swimming around in their body like 30 days. 45 days, that sperm still swimming around in them. They don't, that's the problem. That's the lie. That they done told these women that sperm, oh, it dies in the body after about 3 days, 4 days. Now that shit is in when you let a man ejaculate in you, that shit is swimming in your ass almost 2 months. And will get you pregnant 2 months later. That's why some sperm is not designed, all sperm is not designed to impregnate women. Some of the sperm is there to fight off other sperm, like ants, just like the ants. It's similar to how ants operate. We need to get a thorough class in the science of mating. That's what somebody need to start a channel on, the science of mating. Because we mating like what they call a dog that a mutt. Like mutt mating. That's what's going on. And I'm guilty of it too. I'm not excluding myself from that. I just want to make that perfectly clear. I've been guilty of it too. All right, let's see. We all need to do our homework. Thank you for the $20. There is no money and the gold is gone. They own it all. They got all the gold. They got the gold. And he who has the gold pays the bills. This is the significance. Let's look at HGR 192 of June 5th, 1933. This is what everybody talk about. All right. Statutes at large. Is it on here? Let's see if I can put this on the screen. All right, statute at law, United States, March 33, June to June 1934, concurrent resolutions, recent treaties and conventions, boom, 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 boom. I think it's in here. Let's see, joint resolution. Joint resolution to assure uniform value to the coins and currencies of the United States, whereas the holding of or dealing in gold affect the public interest. Look at what these fools then put in here. After reading the protocols of the learned of the design, you can see who is the person that drafted. These senators didn't draft this. I hope y'all understand that. Whereas the holding of or dealing in gold affect the public interest and are therefore subject to proper regulation and restriction. And whereas the existing emergency has disclosed that provisions, they still use emergency to come in and take rights. The existing emergency has disclosed that provisions of obligations which purport to give the obligee a right to require payment in gold or a particular kind of coin or currency of the United States or an amount in money of the United States measured thereby obstruct the power of Congress to regulate the value of money of the United States. I ain't never understood how that obstructs it. And are inconsistent with the declared policy of the Congress to maintain at all times the equal power of every dollar coined or issued by the United States in the markets and in the payment of debts. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate and the House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled, that A, every provision contained in or made with respect to any obligation which purports to give the obligee a right to require payment in gold or a particular kind of coin or currency or an amount of money in the United States measured thereby is declared to be against public policy. This is why y'all can read any car contract, any mortgage contract, any loan agreement, any credit card agreement, and nowhere will you find in there that they tell you that you got to pay back that debt in a particular species of currency. They use lawful money of the United States, which is archaic. That's why I gave y'all the affidavit of Walker Todd and let that expert tell you from the Federal Reserve that them putting them in them contracts is some bullshit. Lawful money of the United States has been and always will be gold and silver. Legal tender can be Federal Reserve notes. But they can't, it's against public policy to require it. You can't require payment in a particular species of currency. This is why you have a UCC 3-603B. Because if you tender to someone a negotiable instrument and they refuse it, what else can you pay them with? Where's the smart guy? Where's the smart guy? Where's the smart guy? Where's this guy? Where's the smart guy? Where's this guy right here? Where's the smart guy? Where's the smart guy? Explain that to everybody. If you tender a negotiable instrument for satisfaction of an obligation and they refuse it, what the fuck, smart guy, in this system, current system that we're in, are you going to give in satisfaction of an obligation? Since we're not using gold and silver. And that's the only thing that's money. Where's the smart guy? We got any smart guys in the chat? Look, where are the smart guys? I know we got some smart trolls in here. Where are the smart guys at? Where are the smart guys? Where's the smart guy? I just want to know where the smart guy's at. You know, guy, I'm kind of slow, you know, but I think I got some common sense. I think I do. You know, I might, according to you, I probably don't. But you're smarter than me. So explain to everyone this banker's secret manual that you're saying so rife with errors, because we're questioning the substance of transactions of these loans. You sound like you a lapdog for these Zionists. That's what you sound like to me. And if you are, you're a traitor to your country and the republic. You need to get the fuck out of my, I'm calling you a traitor to your damn face. Calling me, I'm online. I'm live streaming. I'm live streaming, dear. You gotta call me back. I'm on live stream. Smart doesn't mean intelligent. I know that's right. But that's what he said about me. He said I'm not too, you know, he said, you know, you pretend to be intelligent. You're not that smart. Where's the smart guy? Let me read this to everybody. What he said about me. It is interesting that you pretend to be so intelligent, more so than most of us, but you recommend books like The Secret Banker's Manual that are so ridiculously written and so full of errors and stupidity that it boggles the mind. Then you tell us that you learned a massive amount from this book. I don't think I ever said I learned a massive amount from this book. I don't think I worded it like that. I read a lot of variety of different things, and I'm always giving a list of different things. I give a list of all the material I've learned everything from. All right? But I feel like this is a good book for beginners. Yes, I do. I stand by that. Either you are not nearly as intelligent as you pretend, or you're dishonest, which is it? Notice how he framed that. based off of a, you know, his premise is off. Because his premise is that I'm pretending to be intelligent. That right there is fundamentally off. His premise is that he's more intelligent than me. We all know that he's an idiot for taking that position. His premise is that I'm dishonest. His premise is that the book that I'm recommending is full of errors, and he has yet to point out one. Man, why do y'all fuck with me, man? Y'all come over here fucking with me because I'm going to make a lot of money from views off of this shit, making you look like a damn fool. I hope you understand that. I hope you understand. I'm getting paid to sit here and clown your ass, all right? Oh, Lord have mercy. Peace out. This Jazz and David, young couple from the seminar. I hope all is well. Wish to meet you again. Much love. Hey, how y'all doing, y'all young couple? Hey, y'all keep studying and stay together. Y'all make an excellent couple. A young couple, they've been studying. You know, I like when the young people and getting this information. Keep studying. You will see me again very soon. I want to thank everybody for the donations also. Let's see what we got in the chat. Let me read one more thing from this Banker's Secret Manual real quick. Because he said that, you know, the Banker's Secret Manual was rife with errors. Okay. Let's just see what we got right here. All right, so this right here, this is Notice of Adequate Assurance and Due Performance. Let's read this and see. Y'all tell me if there's any errors in this notice. This is to a credit card company. Alleged credit card number, and that's going to be your number. This debt is disputed. Now, I already showed you when you dispute a debt under 15 U.S.C. 1692G, under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and we looked up what the definition of a verification means, to attest to something under penalty of perjury, because all debts have to be sworn to. That's what you do. If you have to go to court, you're just making honor. Take the stand. I want him to swear under penalty of perjury that he's a creditor of mine. And that he made a loan to me and I owe him some money. That's all you gotta do. Y'all be making this shit much more complex than what it is. They banking on the fact you don't come to court, because 75 to 80% of people don't. Dear officers and or agents for the lender, it has come to my attention that the alleged borrower, after consulting with the borrower's CPA and researching the United States Code, the corresponding Code of Federal Regulations, the Uniform Commercial Code, and certain Federal Reserve Bank publications, i.e. Modern Money Mechanics, i.e. the FASB 95, that there is reason to believe that the alleged lender is not the holder in due course of the borrower's promissory note and or may have breached the agreement concerning the above referenced alleged loan or loan credit. We're going to look into what a holder in due course is. That's UCC 3-302. We got to look into that. That's very important for you to understand if you're going to be dealing with negotiable instruments, and understanding what a claim on an instrument is and a recoupment, and UCC 3-305 and UCC 3-306. Since the borrower paid money in the form of a promissory note to the lender to perform according to a loan agreement, the borrower is now hereby requesting the adequate assurance of due performance pursuant to UCC 2-609, and the lender has performed according to the loan agreement, and that the original lender used their own money to purchase the borrower's promissory note and did not accept the borrower's promissory note as money or like money to fund a check or similar instrument. That the lender then lent to the borrower, which would have an economic effect similar to stealing, counterfeiting, and swindling, and that the lender has followed the federal laws under 12 United States Code Section 1831N, A2A, and or 12 Code of Federal Regulations 741.6B, 741.6B, regarding generally accepted accounting principles and generally accepted accounting standards concerning this loan. We know that all federally insured banks had to follow GAAP. The borrower is hereby requesting that an authorized officer or agent of the lender sign and return the attached affidavit within 15 days of the date of this notice. Also attached is an affidavit signed by the borrower stating that the borrower's personal knowledge of the terms of the agreement. Can't attest to anything under penalty of perjury unless you have firsthand knowledge of it. This is the borrower's good faith attempt. We're dealing in equity. We have to have clean hands and good faith. That's an equitable principle. This is the borrower's good faith attempt to settle this matter and clear up any confusion about the terms of the loan agreement prior to an administrative hearing on the matter. Failure to respond will be deemed a dishonor of this notice. Deemed creates a legal fiction. Look the word up. Be very familiar with that word. The affidavits are evidence that may be used according to the federal rules of evidence to prosecute or enforce any default by you in this matter. My CPA is prepared to offer expert witness testimony should court proceedings be necessary. This is back when they were actually, the CPAs were going into court before they took their license for going in and doing this. Now, this individual said that in some kind of way that I'm not intelligent or that this is so rife with errors. Motherfucker, you can't read. That's what I'm saying to you, that you are illiterate. I don't see anything about that that's wrong. It follows certain principles of law. The reason that he's saying the affidavit, here's the affidavit right here, affidavit. So in court, you have to, evidence is offered through what? Sworn testimony when you take the stand. Maybe you go into a deposition, affidavits, notarized documents, all of which have to be attested to under penalty of perjury, because we know in court, everything is based off of you swearing to God. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So, demon, you're saying I'm dishonest. You're attacking my character, saying I'm dishonest. I'm lying to the people. Or I don't know what I'm talking about. So we have two affidavits here. Affidavit of I've been robbed. I've been robbed is you. Okay, you put your name right there. And this is the second affidavit. This is to the bank. This is what you give to an officer of the bank who can bind the corporation, like the president, CEO, CFO, or somebody like that. Because what? I'm saying if you're saying I owe you a loan, I'm sending you an affidavit, sign this affidavit and send it back, since you're claiming that you are a creditor of mine, that I entered in some sort of contract with you that requires that I do some sort of performance. If that is so, then you shouldn't have a problem signing this affidavit. What is the affidavit? The undersigned affidavit affiant, being duly sworn on oath, deposes and says, he or she is an officer of XYZ Bank, let's say Bank of America, that claims to hold the promissory note if I've been robbed, let's say Yusef, in the original principal amount of $1.2 million. That he or she is an officer at XYZ Bank holding said note, has the authority to execute this affidavit on behalf of the company and to bind the same into its provisions. The loan agreement has the following terms. XYZ Bank follows GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. We know that they have to. 1831N says that 12 U.S.C. 1831N says you have to follow GAAP. So you're going to sign this and say you are following GAAP. The intent of the loan agreement, where we're talking about intentions, all right, criminal intent. All right, for you to be guilty, the mine must be guilty. So if somebody defrauds you or to do some sort of crime, there has to be some sort of intention behind it. So what was the intent? The intent of the loan agreement is that the party who funded the loan, per bookkeeping entries, we're talking about bookkeeping, we're talking about accounting. We're talking about something that can be verified if we issue a subpoena ducis tecum and require you to bring these documents to court. According to bookkeeping entries, XYZ Bank used their money as adequate consideration in purchase of the promissory note of I've been robbed. The promissory note was not used as value to give value to a check or similar instrument or checking account. I affirm and I understand the terms and conditions of the loan agreement. Now, let's get back to something real quick. The truth of it is I'm more intelligent than you are, and you're an idiot. And that's all I got to say to it. Let's go into the chat now. This damn fool. All right. Go read Banker's secret manual and you make the determination for yourself. Remember, you could be listening to someone who is not as intelligent as you are. It's individuals like this who come into the chat, who make comments. I don't know what else to say. Y'all like these gazelles right here. Y'all like these new gazelles? I ain't put no lenses in these yet. So these are not. Every time y'all see me with glasses, they're prescription because I am blind. I can't see. But I don't need it for this because I'm right up on everything. But I was thinking about putting some prescription. It's kind of like a little different look. I don't know, I kind of, if y'all haven't known by now, I kind of, I'm blind. So that's why I wear all kind of different glasses. I said, well, I'm blind. I might as well be stylish with my frames. But y'all look at this, and then y'all come to a determination yourself, okay? That's it for me today. You've been listening to the hottest radio network on the planet. My name is Yusef. Somebody said, I'm stupid, but it said the court is a bank and the clerk is, why? The clerk is a part of the court. You know that, right? So it's a bank. Yes, a bank. It's called a bank, B-A-N-C. What do you mean? That means it's commercial. You don't need to be talking about the court as a bank. What you need to be reading is the Constitution and the nature of the action. Fuck what the court is. The nature of the action, if it's civil in nature, then it's pecuniary in nature. That's all I'm interested in. I don't give a fuck if the clerk or the bank or the judge is a bank. I don't, even though that's true. But once again, that's not germane to what we're talking about. That's an off-point argument. What we're looking at, what is the nature of the action you're involved in, man? Don't get involved in all of that. Even though if that is true, that's not, you're not taking that into, y'all really a bank. You'll take that into the courtroom, you're going to look like a damn fool. They're going to make a video out of you, and I'm going to be doing a review of it. I appreciate it. You should look into the effects of man-made light in human health, especially in the eye. Yeah, I am. You know, there's some things I kind of like wearing glasses, but some things I want to look at, you know. All right, so with that being said, I appreciate y'all coming out. It was a lot of people came out today. I appreciate it. There are some things I'm working on behind the scenes. Y'all will be seeing very soon. Y'all just roll with me. Just keep riding with me. And like, comment, and subscribe. Hit your notification bell. Okay, you got to hit the notification bell so you can be notified, because sometimes I just jump on the mic. Somebody pissed me off, and I just do a live. Like, fuck that. I'm just going to go live off this. Anyway, peace to the gods and goddesses of the heavens and earth, and I will see you on the next live. Peace to gods. I'm out. Peace.